The deep dive. Today we're looking into a name that, well, it goes way beyond just football, doesn't it? Bayern Munich.
Absolutely. It's a global institution, really. Synonymous with success.
Yeah, sustained success.
Yeah.
So our plan today is to dig into the sources you sent over history, financials, articles, and really unpack what makes Bayern tick. What makes them so dominant.
Right. It's more than just the wins.
Exactly. We want to get into their history, their culture, how they actually operate. It's pretty unique.
And the success on the pitch, I mean, the numbers are just wild. You've got a record 34 German league titles.
34.
And that incredible run, 11 straight titles from 2013 to 2023, plus a record 20 national cups.
Woo.
And that's not even touching their European success yet, which we'll definitely get into.
It's just phenomenal when you think about it. A club started by, what, 11 guys?
Just 11 players, yeah.
And now,
Uh-huh.
one of the most decorated sports clubs in the entire world. So the big question for you listening is, how did that happen? Let's figure it out.
Where do you want to start? The beginning seems logical.
Yeah, let's rewind. Back to 1900. 11 players, led by Franz John, they split off from a gymnastics club in Munich.
To form their own football team.
Right. And they were pretty good from the start, weren't they? I saw a note about a huge early win.
Oh, yeah, they beat a local team called Nordstern 15-0. Pretty dominant early sign.
15, okay. So they hit the ground running.
And it didn't take that long to reach the top nationally. Their first German championship was 1932.
Under coach Richard Cohn, Little Dombey, they beat Eintracht Frankfurt.
2-0 in the final. But then things took a really dark turn very abruptly.
You mean with the rise of the Nazi Party?
Exactly. The club president, Kurt Landauer, and the coach, Cohn, were both Jewish. They were forced out, had to flee the country.
And the club itself was targeted.
Viciously. Taunted as the Jews' club. It was a brutal period that completely derailed that early momentum.
But somehow they endured. That resilience seems to be a theme. After World War II, things were tough, right? Financially.
Extremely tough. They even got relegated briefly in 1955.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Relegated.
Yep. But they clawed back. Won their first DFB Pokal, the German Cup, just 2 years later in 57.
And that's when things started to stabilize a bit financially. There was an industrialist involved.
Roland Endler, yes. His investment in the late 50s was absolutely crucial. It gave them a foundation they desperately needed.
Okay, so they're rebuilding. They've won a cup. But then another setback, sort of, when the Bundesliga started.
Well, it's fascinating, isn't it? The Bundesliga kicks off in 1963, designed to bring the best clubs together. Bayern were ranked 6th best in the country based on past performance.
You'd think they'd be a shoo-in.
You would. But nope. Their local rivals, 1860 Munich, who were actually ranked 7th, got the nod instead.
Why was that?
It was partly regional politics, ensuring Munich had representation, but maybe favoring the perceived working-class club at the time. It's complex.
So being snubbed like that, what do you think that did to the club's mentality?
Looking back, I think it added fuel to the fire. That sense of having to earn their place, maybe fight a bit harder. It definitely adds another layer to their story of eventual dominance. They weren't just handed entry into the elite.
Right. So they finally get promoted to the Bundesliga in 1965. And this is where things really start to change gear, isn't it? The golden years.
Absolutely, because this is when that legendary trio emerges. Young players coming through.
Beckenbauer.
Mueller.
Meyer.
Franz Beckenbauer, Gerd Müller, Sepp Meyer. The Axis, as they became known.
And what an Axis. They took Bayern to a whole new level.
Especially in Europe.
Unbelievable level. Yeah. Winning the European Cup, what we now call the Champions League, 3 times in a row. 74, 75, 76.
3 consecutive years. Has anyone else done that?
Only Real Madrid and Ajax had done it before them. It cemented their place among Europe's absolute elite. Beckenbauer was captain for all 3.
And that 74 final was dramatic, wasn't it? Against Atletico Madrid.
Oh, yeah. A draw in the first game, late equalizer by Schwarzenbeck, then a replay 2 days later.
Which Bayern won easily. Dominated. Won 4-0. And it was around this time people started talking about Bayern Dussel.
Yes, Bayern luck. That idea, they always find a way to win, maybe grind it out, get a late goal.
Exactly. Sometimes maybe fortunate, sometimes just sheer willpower. But it became part of their aura.
But it wasn't all smooth sailing, even with the trophies. The 80s brought some turbulence.
Yeah, off-field issues started creeping in, financial problems again, changes in management.
And that led into the 90s and the whole FC Hollywood nickname.
Right. Suddenly, Bayern players were all over the gossip columns, not just the sports pages. Lots of internal drama, public spats.
It sounds like a soap opera.
It kind of was. But, they were still winning things, just with added spice.
Did that affect their performance much? I saw a funny note about an English club.
Norwich City. Yes, amidst all that, they remained incredibly hard to beat at home at the Olympiastadion. But Norwich are the only English club to have ever beaten them there in a competitive match. A little bit of trivia for you.
That's amazing. So, after the Hollywood years, how did they get back on track internationally?
Ottmar Hitzfeld. His arrival as manager in 1998 was massive. He brought discipline, tactical know,
And almost immediate success, right? Though that 99 Champions League final, ouch.
agony, losing to Manchester United in stoppage time like that. But it shows their resilience again.
How so?
Because just 2 years later, 2001, under Hitzfeld, they were back in the final. And this time, they won it.
Beating Valencia on penalties. Their first European Cup in 25 years.
Exactly. And they did the domestic double that year, too.
Yeah.
Hitzfeld really restored that elite European status.
And around this time, another huge step. Moving stadium.
Oh, the Allianz Arena? Yes, moving there for the 2005-06 season. That wasn't just changing grounds after 33 years at the Olympiastadion.
It felt like a statement, right? About the future, about ambition.
Absolutely. A state-of-the-art stadium, a symbol of where they saw themselves heading. A massive undertaking.
Okay, so fast forward a bit into the late 2000s. They start bringing in some serious international talent again.
Big time. Players like Frank Ribéry, Miroslav Klose, Luca Toni arrived, building a really formidable squad.
And this is when we get the robbery partnership.
Yes. Arjen Robben joined a bit later, teaming up with Ribéry on the wings. Unstoppable on their day. Electrifying.
And homegrown talent still coming through. Like Thomas Müller, there was that famous quote from Louis van Gaal.
Yes. Van Gaal, when he was manager, basically said, "Mit mir spielt Müller immer." With me, Müller always plays. Shows how crucial Müller became, even then.
And this blend of talent leads into their most dominant era ever, arguably.
Without a doubt. The modern dominance is just breathtaking. You have to start with the 2012-13 season.
The trouble.
The first treble by any German club. Bundesliga title, DFB Pokal, and the Champions League. Jupp Heynckes was the manager. Just a perfect season.
Beating Dortmund in the Champions League final, wasn't it?
At Wembley, yes, an all-German final. Incredible.
And then the truly bonkers part.
Yeah.
They did it again.
7 years later, the 2019-20 season. Another treble. Bundesliga, Pokal, Champions League. Unbelievable consistency at the highest level.
And it didn't even stop there in 2020, did it?
Nope. They went on to win the UEFA Super Cup, the German Super Cup, and the FIFA Club World Cup.
Making it the sextuple, all 6 possible trophies in a calendar year.
Only the second club ever to achieve that after Barcelona. Just absolute peak dominance.
And they're still making huge moves. The Harry Kane signing in 2023.
A reported 110 million euros. Breaking the German transfer record again. Shows they're still aiming right at the top.
Okay, so the on-field success is undeniable. But you mentioned their operational model earlier. Let's dig into that, because that seems just as crucial.
It really is. And probably the most important thing to understand about Bayern's sustained success, based on the sources, their financial stability.
How so?
Get this. They've generated profits for 27 consecutive years.
27 years in the black in modern football. That's unheard of.
Pretty much. While other huge clubs rack up enormous debts, especially for transfers, Bayern operate differently. They often fund signings from current assets, not massive loans.
Which makes them less vulnerable, right, to market swings or, I don't know, a bad season?
Exactly. It gives them incredible resilience and the power to plan long-term without being beholden to lenders. And their ownership structure is key to this.
Right. It's not just one billionaire owner.
No. 75% is owned by the club members themselves, the FC Bayern München e.V.
So the fans essentially have the controlling stake.
Yes. And the other 25% is split equally between 3 huge German companies, Adidas, Audi, and Allianz, 8.33% each.
Allianz, like the stadium.
Precisely. Those investments were critical in financing the Allianz Arena and paying it off way ahead of schedule. It's a strategic partnership, not just sponsorship.
So if you're listening, think about what that means. They're not just winning. They're incredibly well-run, financially sound, built to last. It's a fascinating model.
A very powerful combination.
Okay, beyond the boardroom and the balance sheets, what about the soul of the club, the identity?
Well, you see it visually, obviously. The iconic red and white kits, the crest with the Bavarian flag diamonds.
And those famous mottos. Mia San Mia.
Mia San Mia, Bavarian for we are who we are. It embodies this immense self-belief, confidence, almost an expected dominance.
The Packers.
Pack Moss, let's do it, more proactive, that sort of go-getter, let's get the job done attitude. They really live by these.
And the fan base reflects this passion, right? It's enormous.
Huge. Over 400,000 official club members.
400,000.
Makes them the largest sports club in the world by membership, and nearly 4,200 officially registered fan clubs globally.
Wow. And within that fan base, you have the Ultras, the Sud Curve.
Yes, the South Stand Ultras. Very passionate, very vocal, and notably, they've taken strong stances.
Against discrimination.
Yes, against right-wing extremism, racism, homophobia. They even won the Julius Hirsch Award from the German FA for their commitment to tolerance and standing against anti-Semitism. That says a lot about the club's wider culture, too.
That's really significant. And the club invests heavily in its foundations, too, right?
How?
Infrastructure.
Definitely. You've got the Sabener Strasse training ground, which is legendary in itself, but also the FC Bayern campus, opened relatively recently.
What's the focus there?
It cost around 70 million euros. It's specifically for the youth teams and the women's teams. A huge investment in the future, in development.
And they seem quite involved in the community and social projects.
Very much so. You see things like their own charity foundation, FC Bayern Hilfe V, which they set up after the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami.
But also closer to home, helping other German clubs.
This is quite unique. They've stepped in multiple times to provide financial lifelines to rivals facing bankruptcy. Famously, they gave Borussia Dortmund a crucial $2 million loan in the mid-2000s that basically saved them.
Saved Dortmund's, their biggest rivals.
Yep. And they've helped out St. Pauli, Hansa Rostock, Kaiserslautern too. It shows a sense of responsibility towards the health of German football as a whole, which is pretty unusual at that elite level.
It is unusual, supporting your competitors like that.
They also support foundations promoting LGBTQ plus inclusion in football, like the Magnus Hirschfeld Foundation. So it's quite broad social engagement.
Of course, speaking of rivals, they have a few big ones.
Oh, absolutely. Rivalries are key to their story. Locally, there's the Derby with 1860 Munich. Historically massive, though 1860 have been in lower leagues for a while now.
But the big one nationally is their Klassiker.
Against Borussia Dortmund, yeah. That's become the fixture in Germany over the last couple of decades. Huge intensity, often deciding titles. And as we mentioned, they even met in that 2013 Champions League final.
And in Europe, who's their main adversary?
Real Madrid. That's a classic European rivalry. Loads of history, incredibly dramatic matches over the years.
I've heard Real Madrid fans call Bayern something.
La Bestia Negra, the Black Beast. Because historically, Bayern have often caused Real Madrid a lot of problems, especially in Madrid. It's a rivalry built on grudging respect and fierce competition.
So wrapping this all up, it's quite a story.
It really is. Bayern's journey, when you look at the sources, is about incredible resilience, smart strategy, and just relentless excellence. From those 11 founders through Nazi persecution, financial struggles, to becoming this global powerhouse. It's remarkable.
And that unique financial setup, the fan ownership, the social side.
It all combines with that Mia San Mia winning mentality. It's a powerful mix.
It really underlines that their success isn't down to just one thing. It's not just the star players or just the coaches, though they've had brilliant ones.
No, it's deeper. It's the culture, the structure, the planning, the connection to the fans and the community. It's all interwoven.
So a final thought for you listening, based on everything we've discussed.
Yeah, think about this. Bayern Munich has this almost unique blend of incredible on-field success, rock-solid financial health, and a genuine commitment to social values and community.
Which is rare.
Very rare. So the question is, what parts of Bayern's model, maybe the ownership structure, the financial discipline, the long-term planning, the community focus, what aspects do you think could actually work elsewhere? Could other sports teams or maybe even businesses outside of sport learn something from the Bayern way to achieve that kind of sustained ethical success?